friend and I took a trip to the water park. Now, we have some unique accessibility needs, and what was supposed to be a fun reprieve from the Texas heat turned into a miserable experience for everyone involved. That night, I wrote a letter to the park director, detailing why our experience wasn't just subpar, it was prohibitive. Because I'm thorough, I also included what were, by my 12-year-old estimations, flawless blueprints for an accessible water park. Now, believe it or not, the park director never got back to me, but this was an important day. It was the first time I saw an issue of inaccessibility and did something to fight it. While I didn't know it at the time, this day became my catalyst for a career in public policy. Fast forward to Foundations, sitting here, when each of us entered the auditorium armed with our individual reasons for being here and our shared determination to make a difference. As we shared our backgrounds, we weren't just relaying our stories, we were exchanging our catalysts. And understanding the catalyst that brought you all here today, that brought our class together, has been one of the joys of my life. We came to McCourt with a mission. And while each of us had a unique path to 125E, I don't believe any of us just stumbled through the doors. We were propelled by our catalysts. Some of our loved ones went face to face with medical challenges. So we witnessed early on the flaws of our healthcare system. Some of us saw violence women faced firsthand and decided to build agency into law. Some of us had entirely different careers before this and determined that policy was the path to systematic change. No matter how we got here, I think it's special that we got here at all and that we got here together. Right now, our countries, our cities, our governments are facing challenges like never before. How do we build policy around ever-shifting trade trends? What are the costs and benefits of AI regulation? Does the way that we describe climate change influence how we handle it? And how should we navigate any of this in the face of increasing international conflict? The urgency is escalating, the answers are unclear, and so many of the policies we've studied are reactionary. Thankfully, the students of Georgetown's McCourt School of Public Policy are unequivocally prepared to enter the scene. Not only do we have 3 semesters of quant, 2 semesters of econ, and 1 massive coffee addiction, we also have our stories. Even better, we have each other's stories, the catalyst that propelled us to McCourt in the first place. And we owe it to each other to carry these stories, these catalysts with us as we cross the stage tomorrow. When I look at our class, I know that I'm looking at the faces of future public officials, international change makers, researchers, CEOs. We are the leaders who will make the change we want to see in the world. So I believe it is our duty and our obligation to hold each other's stories close, to have them inform the decisions that we make from this point forward. If I want to know how to ethically adopt a new technology, I'm calling you Anish. If I'm concerned about how a decision will affect reproductive justice around the globe, Sush, you are my girl. And if I want to debate the realities of insurance reform, Caitlin, you are my co-conspirator. And if I want to challenge policy down to the word choice, Nina and Ethan, I am calling you. One of the first things that we learned at McCourt was that policy has unintended consequences. It was essentially the thesis of this entire program. We discussed it in the Foundations Ethics class that first week. We analyzed it further during Dr. Shoney's Econ 2 lectures, and we interacted with these unintended consequences firsthand during thesis and capstone. And now, here we are, about to enter a world full of unintended consequences. To mitigate this harm, we must challenge ourselves with diverse perspectives and difficult debate. Because the only way to combat unintended consequences, the unintended consequences of our own decisions, will be to lean on those that we've come to know along the way. To invite our peers to the table. to value their stories enough to serve as our own catalysts. I am here because of the water park, but I am made a policymaker because of everyone in this room. It has been the honor of a lifetime to learn from you all these last 2 years, and I thank you for that. So, thank you for everything, and thank you to the people who surrounded us and supported us. To our friends who debated over a pint at the Dubliner, deep talked on the second floor couches, and drew encouraging messages on the study room whiteboards for 2 years straight. To our professors who could take a conversation about cost-benefit analysis and turn it into the most solid life advice you've received, who care so deeply about the work but never more so than they care about their students. To our community at home, the school teachers who believed in us when others doubted, the friends who answered every FaceTime, the ones who never doubted our love even when we forgot to respond for a week because there was a problem set due. And finally, to our families, both in the room and around the globe, who shouted affirmations at us when we were filled with imposters, who humbled us when we used terms like positive externality in everyday conversation, and who made sure that we saw the importance of and stayed focused on this degree even when life got hard. Thank you, and to my classmates, thank you, McCourt School of Public Policy, class of 2026. Thank you for everything. I love you, and I will see you around the table.
Ha 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 ha.